Hello everybody and welcome back to Pokemon Ranger! So now that we've escorted Professor Hastings to Fall City, now we have ourselves a brand new mission. Now, while the other Rangers in Fall City investigate the Go Rock Squad, we're now gonna be going through the Fall City case log, where we're essentially going to be helping out some citizens if they just so happen to be needing some help. Oh yeah, and now we've also got this call from Spencer. Yeah, get ready to see plenty of calls from the styler on this game too. There is going to be some times in this game where several rangers will start to call you. Yeah, but anyways, now for this guy, the civilian engineer. He essentially gonna be preventing us to be able to go down there. But we will be able to later on. Hello, Ranger. Can I get you to come to my apartment building? There's been a mix-up there, and I'm stuck. I'm stuck because of it. I'll be waiting. And you're gonna have to wait a little while because, there are a few things that I want to show off first before I even think about entering. Before we even think about that apartment. Yeah, before we even think about entering that apartment building. Now, first off, some Pokemon that you actually find in Fall City. First off is a Snubbull. Now, not only Snubbull runs away from you if it just happens to notice you, but I don't think Snubbull really attacks you, I believe. Yeah, Snubbull's one of those Pokemon that doesn't exactly attack you. But then as for this Pokemon, Makuhita! It's definitely a whole nother story. Yeah, when the Makuhita notices your capture line, then he will immediately start to go towards your capture styler and try to be able to attack it. So essentially, try your best to lure Makuhita without doing an actual loop, so then you can get his attack done. So then once the Makuhita is done with its attack, then that's when you'll be able to do the captures. I would say try your best to lure the Pokemon away. It's probably going to be one of your best strategies when it comes to this game. Yeah, just because, there are going to be some situations where you have to find more than one a Pokemon at once, and luring them away from the Pokemon that you actually want to capture is actually a really valid strategy. And let's just say you're gonna be seeing me doing this for quite a lot. You're definitely gonna be seeing all throughout this playthrough that luring the Pokemon away is definitely gonna be a very valid strategy. But anyways, now since we got that Makuhita, now I can go over his Poke Assist. That of course being the Fighting type. Now with the Fighting type catcher, now with the Fighting Poke Assist, now with how this one works is that each capture line loop is counted or will be counted as 2. Yeah, meaning that whenever you do just one loop, that will then be counted as 2. Now, this Poke Assist is definitely extremely handy, especially against Pokemon that have at least up to 10. Have up to 10 loops, or even higher. Especially for Pokemon that require for you to do at least 10 loops or higher. Yeah, like I said, yeah, having a fighting type Pokésys is extremely handy. Oh, hello. Yeah, now we have ourselves Meowth. Now, Meowth is an example of a Pokemon where if you're just about to capture it, yeah, and as you see here, yeah, sometimes the Pokemon will sometimes jump out of your capture loops. Yeah, and essentially interrupt your captures. Yeah, that right there is one of the more annoying things about trying to catch Pokemon in this game. Yeah, that the Pokemon can literally just jump themselves right out of your capture loop. Just as soon as you're about to get them. Yeah, that can definitely be really annoying. And especially for several other Pokemon that we're gonna be seeing in this game. But anyways, everyone. Now back to what I was saying about the Pokécyst, about the fighting type Pokécyst. Now the effectiveness for that one lasts either 10, 20, or 30 seconds long. Yeah, and of course it is, depending on the Pokemon in question, of course. Okay, and that shall be enough exploring for now. A pretty nice building, isn't it? My suite is over here. Yeah, we're just about to go into it, but first, yeah, now as you saw it there. Now, you can still get yourself a Pichu in Fall City, if you just happen to not be able to get yourself one yet. Yeah, but first, and now, here's where we have our situation. See, Ranger? This big crane is in the way. I think the movers forgot to take it. Please do something. I can't get into my suite with that heavy crane in my way. Well, I mean, that is what we're here to do. How about others? Thank you, Ranger. But that crane is very heavy. I think you'll need a strong Pokemon to move that crane. Like a Makuhita, for instance? Yeah, the very Pokemon that we already have. Yeah, and we definitely have to write a number in order for us to be able to use Tackle for this. Yep. Now we essentially moved that crane with an enormous amount of force. Oh, thank you. You've made my day. I can finally go inside. Yep, you surely can. Now, won't you come in for a snack? But then, as soon as we enter, yeah, apparently a Venonat got itself in. Aye! What is that thing? Please, Ranger, catch it! Yeah, don't you fret, we're going to. But anyways, Venonat. Now, Venonat can be annoying because of how much you can jump. And as you saw, as soon as it release its poison, then yeah, that's a cloud of poison smoke started to show up. Now, as you saw, the poison smoke itself, that is around the field, it will not hurt you. But the actual attack itself, yeah, that's when, that's when it will hurt. Yeah. But anyways, now since we just got that Venonat, now I can talk about its Pokésys, Poison. Now with the Poison Pokésys, a poisonous mist rises from the capture line, and it will also leave the opponents immobilized. And the effectiveness will last up to either 10, 20, or 30 seconds. But anyways, and then when you're done with that little side quest there, well, I guess you can say it is a side quest, but it is still counts as a mission. A mission anyway. Now, when you're done, and then when you're done helping that woman, then as soon as you exit, we get ourselves meted by this woman, Teresa, who wants who essentially wants your help in retrieving all of her Skittys, all of her Skittys back to her. Now, the Skittys are actually going to be very scattered around the city. So, let's just say we're definitely going to be exploring a lot more. If we want to be able to find every single one of her... Now, if we want to be able to find every single one of her Skittys... And I guess I'll just say this right now. When you get into a battle with a Skitty, then... Yeah, that's when the Skittys can also be a bitch to catch. Now, what I mean by that is that the Skittys act the same way as Meowths, where if you just so happen to get close to capturing it, then the Skittys will for the most part will jump out of your capture line. So yeah, if you want to be able to have a bitch chance to capture these Skittys, then make sure you have a much more longer line, so that whenever the Skittys do jump, at the very least you'll have yourself more of a chance to be able to still be able to do your capture lines. So yeah, you're definitely gonna see. You're definitely gonna see what I mean for when we actually get to our first. Encounter with one. Now, and speaking of which, now the first one is actually on the very top of the same building that we were just in. Yeah. Patronus, hard work, isn't it? People ask you for help with all sorts of silly things, don't they? Well, I guess you could say that. The people of this town rely a little too much on majors. Well, I mean, I'm all that they could possibly get right now, so... Yeah, now we have a cutting-edge personal computer. Yeah, a regular computer is something that we really don't have nowadays. Well, nowadays we usually have either monitors or laptops. But regular computers, yeah, nowadays they're essentially dead. But anyways, as we get to the top, like I said, our favorite Skinny is all the way up here. And then also, as we get into our battle with the Skitties, it'll say Teresa Skitty. Yeah, as you saw. Yeah, like I said. Yeah, whenever you see Skitty, yeah, they will, like I said before, they will playfully hop for whatever they actually see the capture style. Whenever they see the capture line. Another thing is that when you just happen to find yourself some Skitties, then Teresa will be near the ranger base, so then you can actually return all of those Skitties to her. And speaking of which, yeah, we were literally just in this house. Yeah, and that Skitty was essentially trying to act like it's a doll. But considering that we already went to this house earlier, yeah, we could already tell it was a ruse. Yeah, there was absolutely no way that Skitty was gonna be fake. Was that a real Pokemon? I couldn't tell at all. But I could. Who would have thought it? A real Skitty hiding among plushies. It's the kind of cute story that can make some people feel all fuzzy and warm inside. Well, I suppose you could say that in a way. But anyway, Now, I feel like, yeah, we are gonna get into more Skitty captures once we go down towards the, excuse me. Now, as soon as we get to the lower side of the city, so I may as well return some of the Skitties to it now. Oh, where were you? My pretty wee Skitty. Your mumsy wumsies were so lonely. Yep. Oh god! Oh! You saw that? Yeah, the Skitty literally just like, as soon as it stopped moving, my character literally just like popped right over to another side. Yeah, that's something that you don't see too often, isn't it? Man, oh man, like, who would have thought the Skitties actually, who would have thought Skitties actually had that kind of power? Okay, but anyways, now see if there's any Skitties around this side of the area here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there isn't one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all the Skitties there are around in this area. But I may as well do one more quick check just so I can make sure that we are good. Okay, yeah. At this point, I think we've seen all the Skitties that we could possibly find here. But there is still more of a city to explore, which is what we're gonna get into for the next one. And so till then, I'll see you guys next time.